Hi, I am Kamarul Zaman Baharom. In my last video, we have discussed on the back-to-back payment or conditional payment issues among the construction companies. As the person in charge of collection for a construction company, I always encountered this type of reason when we request them to release our payment according to the contract signed earlier. With this new legislation, the clients could no longer use the reason of not getting payment from their clients before releasing the payment to us. We will be hard-pressed to continue executing the works as it will affect badly to our cash flow as a result of not getting paid. Cipaa has provided us a golden opportunity to recover our outstanding debt swiftly, and normally the adjudicator will deliver the adjudication decision within 100 working days. From my observation among the construction companies community, they feel that they could not do anything if their client still insists to wait for their main con to release the payment to them before they could release the payment to their subcon, as according to them, the back-to-back payment clause is stipulated in the contract between both parties when they sign the contract. As I have said earlier, I am not the best person to interpret the act precisely. What I can do is to refer the matter to the expert that could enlighten us with the subject matter. On 1st February 2013, the former director of Asian International Arbitration Centre, Professor Datuk Dr. Sundra Raju, during his interview with BFM Radio, has cleared the air once and for all. You may listen to the excerpt of the interview as follows.
Good afternoon, Frida. The Cipaa is an act specifically aimed at the construction industry, and it is, as the name suggests, the Construction Industry Payment and Adjudication Act. It introduces an adjudicative process to resolve payment issues. And payment issues in the construction industry, I think we all know, it's quite endemic in the sense that we always hear horror stories of contractors not being paid. Sometimes contractors are not paid because there's no certificates being issued, and many a times that everybody in the industry suffer from defects to the buildings because of poor payment, cash flow issues, and sometimes projects are abandoned and terminated and otherwise. So I think to alleviate and to address this issue of non-payment, slow payment, and also quality in the construction industry, the government has actually decided to address it direct at the root. So what the Construction Industry Payment and Adjudication Act does, it introduces a dispute resolution process which is quick, we call it fast, it's dirty and rough, if I can put it in that way, but it solves the problem temporarily.
Okay, and I want to know how it can be fast, in just a moment. But before that, so adjudication comes before arbitration?
Before arbitration or litigation.
Okay, so what happens then in adjudication? Dirty, fast, how does that happen?
What actually will happen is that every construction contract will, as long as it is in writing, will deem to have a provision that will allow Cipaa to operate. So it will be a statutory provision. That means even if you have not written it down in the contract, it will be there. So then what the statute itself sets out a procedure on how the adjudicator will be appointed when there is a dispute on payment, and then the procedure is set out in the Act. It is very, very quick. The whole process is finished within 95 to 100 days. It's about 3 months, which is, I think, the fastest. It's faster than the courts, it's faster than arbitration, and a decision will be rendered by the adjudicator, which will be enforceable like a court order.
So there are no exemptions right now. Basically, if there's a
If you want to listen the interview on Cipaa in full, you may click to the link I put in my blog at www.cipaa.com.my, as this is a very important info from the former of the AIAC director itself. I strongly advise you to listen to the interview in full. According to Professor Datuk Dr. Sundara Raju, the government has introduced a statutory adjudication, a form of dispute resolution to resolve payment-related construction disputes and to facilitate cash flow within the construction industry. In a nutshell, if the main contractor has stipulated a back-to-back payment clause in the contract with their subcontractor, Cipaa will override the clause by virtue of Section 35, meaning to say the back-to-back payment or conditional payment clause is void. We, as the person in charge of collection for a construction company, feel that the situation has become an endemic, where the main contractor keep on delaying of releasing the payment as per the credit terms agreed in the contract, even though we have already honored all the obligations as per the contract signed earlier. The government's move on initiating the act is timely as to ensure that all the construction companies have a sufficient fund to carry out the project and would not delay the progress of the project due to the cash flow problem, especially involved with the government projects. We will discuss with another topic regarding the payment issues among the construction industry in our next video. See you soon!